That being said, this doesn't happen without jobs. And I'm going to ask Councilman Ginther to talk about how we're going to bring more jobs to downtown.
Thanks, Guy. As the mayor said earlier, downtown really is the economic engine for the region. It's almost $4 billion of annual payroll for folks working in downtown Columbus and about 100,000 jobs. Put that in perspective, downtown is roughly about 1% of the land area in the city of Columbus, but that payroll represents about 23% of the income tax revenue that's generated. And as everyone here knows, we're a job-related city. 70% of the revenue that helps fund critical services throughout the city comes through income tax revenue. It's critical that folks are working and that they're working in good jobs to help stabilize our neighborhood and provide critical services. That being said, obviously based on those numbers, downtown is a huge contributor to neighborhood services in neighborhoods throughout the city. And it comes back to the point made earlier that downtown really is everybody's neighborhood because it's critical to the quality of life of folks regardless of what part of town you live in. We were facing some very tough times, as was mentioned here before. Vacancy rate 2003 of roughly 26% in downtown Columbus. A lot of hard work, aggressive marketing and incentives, and investments in infrastructure. We ended last year at roughly a 14.7% vacancy rate, putting us just beneath the suburban vacancy rates around Columbus at roughly 16%. And so there's been a lot of progress made with respect to bringing folks downtown and helping folks grow downtown. There's an estimated 1 million square feet of office space that's been added just in these, since the downtown master plan was created in 2002 and implemented over these last 8 years. 2,000 jobs have been incentivized in partnership through the city income tax incentive program for roughly 25 companies just since 2004. And we're talking to other companies right now. Council just made an unprecedented investment in our economic development efforts because we know that's a critical part of our city's future and a basic tenet of one of the 3 points of the 3-point plan we provided and asked voters to engage in last year. Some of the companies that have come to downtown or grown and expanded just in the last couple of years: the iCenter of Columbus, Gates McDonald, Motorist Insurance, Ohio Health, Plant Moran, Resource Interactive, and SBC Advertising. So obviously making sure that our job sector and job growth and economic development remains in the forefront is a critical part of a healthy, growing downtown that's critical not just to people in Columbus, but to folks throughout our region. So it's going to remain a top focus of ours. But also quality of life. And I know the mayor is passionate about our parks and recreational activities, and I'll ask the mayor to talk a little bit about some of the things we've been doing around that.
Thank you, Andrew. Council's been great as a great partner. I see Herschel Craig out there in the audience, and thank you so much. And just to point out, just to re-emphasize what you've already talked about, imagine this: 26% vacancy rate, office rate, vacancy rate 8 years ago, down to 14% after adding 1 million square feet of new space. And that's a phenomenal thing to have accomplished in a short period of time, thanks to you, Ari. So we're grateful. And then Lazarus Building, you know, one thing I think we all should be very proud of is the fact we're among the greenest cities in the country. And Lazarus Building is the largest green rehab building in the entire nation. Now, I don't know if that's true, but it sounds good. I believe that's accurate.